All right, movable shapes. There's some audio lessons on movable shapes. Maybe easier for y'all to see what they're all about. Um, this gets into a little bit of theory, but this goes back to the modes of a scale, and I don't know the names of all of them other than the major scale is called the Aeolian scale, and I think the minor scale is called the Aeolian scale, the relative minor, the sixth minor. But it gets into that theory of if I have a G scale, and if I started on the second note on the A, same notes as a G scale, but I've started on the A, started on the B, started on the C. Each one of those is a mode where it starts on the different scale, and it plays into these movable shapes. For example, again, sticking with G, if I do a chordal scale, with two fingers, I'm doing two shapes. I've got one shape where I'm 1, 2, 3, I'm 3 frets apart. And then I've got another shape where I'm four frets apart. The 4 frets apart is a minor chord. The 3 frets apart is a major chord. So you can kind of see if you do this, practice this. There's the G. There's an A minor, which is the second chord in the chordal scale. A B minor. There's a B minor. Then it goes to a C. Then it goes to a D. Then it goes to an E minor, there's the relative minor. Then it goes to this, it goes to an F sharp diminished, which sounds like an F minor in this case, and then back to the G. And that gives you a sense, because I go from major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor, major. And I can do that in a pentatonic scale too. If I do a pentatonic scale in G, there's the pentatonic scale in G, which I can do on one pair of strings. So 3 apart, 4 apart, 4 apart, 3 apart, 3 apart, and then end with this little G, 12 and 10. 12 on the D string and 10 on the alpha string. Alright, so that's, and then, you can do the same thing in other keys, obviously. If I hop to one lower string, key of C. If I hop to one higher string, up to here, I'm in the key of D. So anyway, those are just some thoughts. I wanted to go over the inverse, an inverted chord. Two shapes. I've got one where I'm 1 fret apart. I'm starting with a G, and this G is 4th fret on the G string and 5th fret on the delta string. The second shape is 2 frets apart, so the second shape here is index finger on the 5th fret of the G string, and the middle finger, or you could do ring finger. I do middle finger on the 7th fret of the delta string. That's kind of a minor shape. It actually can be a major shape too. In this case, though, it's a minor shape, so it's major, minor, minor, and I can slide up here, or I can go to my C chord right here. Major, major, minor, minor, major. So practice those, and they can be done in any key. I'm starting on a G chord. I can start, for example, on a E chord. So you practice in different keys. How could that be used? How does that even help you? Well, one, it helps you to understand the fretboard a little bit better. But I use those kind of especially as fill-ins, but you can also use them to get from one position to the next. For example, there's a well-beat path on this old mountainside that I wandered when I was a lad. There wandered along to a place I go home on those Blue Ridge hills far away. Oh, I love those hills of Virginia. From the Blue Ridge hills I did roam. When I die, won't you bury me on the mountain? Far away near my Blue Ridge mountain home. So you get an idea. You can kind of use them as fill-ins or even in leads. But it's just another way to learn that fretboard. That's what it's all about. Learn where the notes are on the fretboard and get them, where are my safe notes. So anyway, there you go.